there's this radical purification happening. This radical purification where things are just being cleared out. And it's so specific with this theme of the cord cutting that we have this month. I have the cord cutting with the soul contracts because it's not always that we are cutting things off permanently forever. There's also an energy, a frequency where we are recalibrating, we are refining, we are relocating, we are redistributing. And with that, the purification may not be to cut off completely and to kill and to complete entirely and to remove. It may be to purify the frequency, purify the cords, purify the energy within the dynamic, within the relationship, within your relationship with self. Purify even your perception towards something. So think to that right now. What is holding you back in terms of creating a negative energy and taking space in your mind that it just doesn't need to be? What is that? How can you purify your perception towards it? And not to give it an okay, but to make you okay, to give you the okay, to allow yourself to be okay, regardless of it, them, that, the thing, what happened, whatever it is. Allowing for it to be okay, because it will be. Again, that perception shift alone will change the situation. So allow for this purification. And in that too, there's this inner sovereignty, this authority that you claim in doing that, which was last month. And we've really prepped the sovereignty energy and space. We're very familiar with it now. So you know how to activate it. You can activate it right when you want to. It's claiming your authority. Seknet says hi, by the way. I think he may make an appearance in just a second. But it's claiming this inner authority with yourself. I am the one to make decisions. I am going to honor my truth, regardless if others don't see it or understand it or comprehend it. I do. It's taking control of your reality in that way so that you can surrender to the divine flow. Again, surrendering to the divine flow, taking control and authority for self, for the frequency of self. And with that, your manifestation abilities increase. When you have this authority, there's this magic that comes through. I'm telling you, these are not just words. This is not just some funny, fun, make-believe, little cutesy, airy-fairy. This is reality. I mean, straight up manifestations, miracles manifested. And again, best case scenario too. Even if you're like, oh, well, it's already this situation. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Miracles are waiting still. You have this ability. Use it. Utilize it. Fully claiming your authority, knowing who and what you are on a frequency level. That is all you need. And then deciding, you know what, I'm going to create this. I'm going to create this. I'm just going to do it. I don't need to know how. I don't need to even think about it. I don't even need to feel the feeling, this, that. I am deciding now. I'm deciding now. And so it has been decided. Utilize this frequency of your own for yourself, and then watch what happens. Again, surrendering to the divine flow and knowing that you also have this magical ability. It's this balance. That's the frequency that we're in. It's utilizing both frequencies and understanding there's always a solution because it's one or the other. Always. Always, no matter what. So you always have the answer. It's like, okay, I'm met here. I cannot flow with this. I cannot divine flow to this. I need to influence this energetically. That's when you claim your inner sovereignty. Okay, I'm good regardless. I'm going to perceive it differently. I'm going to activate my frequency and I'm going to manifest. I'm going to manifest and I'm just going to hold that knowing. I'm going to hold that vision. I'm going to hold that frequency no matter what. And it will turn out best case scenario. Even if it takes a little bit of time, I'm holding it. I'm holding it. And then, there are other times where you're met at some challenge and you're like, I've been holding this, or I don't want to hold this, or I don't feel like I should hold this. I feel like I should let it go. That's the divine flow. That's that divine frequency. That's where you surrender. You always have a solution, always. And you know intuitively. You do. You always know. Just ask yourself. So tuning into that frequency, because in this time as well, something that's coming through kind of in connection to the radical purification is a lot of hidden truths are surfacing at this time on a collective level and for us personally and in relationships. Hidden truths are surfacing. Oh, that's what that is. That's what actually happened. Okay. Oh, that's who you are. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. This is what's been calling me. Hidden truths, the divine truths, and also some challenging ones. But it's knowing that in this, and we'll move to the soul contracts in just a second and the cord cutting, because it's connected to this, but it's in knowing that the truths that are uncomfortable, again, are leading you to divinity. They're leading you to the comfortable space. I promise, I promise, I promise. It's accepting them, flowing to them, and knowing, okay, there's something so much more divine on the other side of this. I know that there is. And there is. There really is. But it's knowing, again, giving yourself that that relaxation, that trust prior to needing it to be on a physical level, knowing you can hold this regardless. So allowing for these hidden truths to reveal, to bring truth and to guide you accordingly. Again, surrendering to the divine flow. That divine flow, it's divine flow. Trusting it. Keeping your heart open in this time, vital. Absolutely vital. Remember who and what you are. You are a divine being of light, here to anchor and pillar frequencies of love, higher consciousness. Therefore, you just holding love in any situation, that is your purpose. That is you don't have to do anything else. You actually don't. Holding love and keeping your heart open regardless. Forgiveness. Really, truly, those are the greatest trophies here on earth. How much forgiveness have you had? How much love have you held? That's your greatest gold, your greatest medal, your greatest award and achievement. How much did you come down to earth and love? Okay, that's where you're at. All right. That's success. Because in these spaces, it can again be challenging to do so. But when you hold love, when you hold that frequency, it shifts the whole dynamic. You no longer have to experience the challenge in that way. And right now, our magnetic field of our hearts are expanding. So especially if you've been calling in love, or if you have been in a situation of love, that is coming to us now. If you've been wanting more love even in your situation, that is also increasing and enhancing right now. There is a huge heart field of magnetic energy that's opening for the collective, that has opened and is present. So the more that you keep your heart open in this time, the more the love will come to you. It's like kind of like this reservoir of love has just like opened, and therefore any heart that's like, oh, I'm magnetizing love, I'm staying open to love, that love is just like pouring in. Again, it's a magnetic frequency field, so you'll be magnetizing from this mega reservoir of love that's coming to you. Oh, I love that, Malika. Something is being rewritten. Now notice I'm not saying ended. There may be some things ending, but in this particular case, it's being rewritten, not necessarily ending. Yep, okay. We're feeling it. We're feeling it. All right, so tuning into the energy of soul contracts. Okay, yeah, new pass rerouting for me. Yep. Listen and really work on my auric field while doing daily practices, slowing down and trusting seasons to bring down. Yes, Malachi, exactly. Trusting these seasons, allowing yourself to be in that flow, exactly. And really work with the auric field. I love that. That's like the conclusion of all the little things that I brought through for even this energy update. It's like, what is your energetic state. Focus on that. Tune into that. Channel into that. Start with that. Because I promise you, it's literally like this reservoir of energy, of love is available. You'll magnetize that love. You'll magnetize these miracles that are already present. And again, things have paused so that those can come through. Soul contracts and cords, both of them, they are not permanent. Remembering that these are agreements. These are agreements. These are precursors. These are blueprints. These are titles of chapters, but they're not the full chapter themselves. They are here to be rewritten. You are never stuck in anything, ever. Even if it feels like you are not. Knowing this just alone liberates you. You are not stuck or bound in any soul contract. They are just previous agreements. And agreements are meant to shift, are meant to change. Yes, they are. I want to even bring that through. Yes, always be integral and honor your word. Yet again, you are a human on earth. There are billions of humans on earth. Agreements are subject to change. Okay, we are here in a divine game, in a divine experience here. And so knowing that, being adaptable, knowing that you can shift, that things are going to be rewritten, things are going to change, that is the greatest skill you can have. That is the greatest power you can have in this time. So first and foremost, just knowing that, allowing yourself to be freed, feeling this freedom frequency, the liberation from that you can shift and change them at any time. So with perhaps toxic soul contracts and cords that exist, realizing that these are actually portals to higher frequencies. This is a portal to not only a greater awareness, but literally a purified, more cleansed, strengthened, on point, integrated version of yourself. That is what comes through. That is what is brought through in these experiences. So even just knowing that when you are in it, how can I be my highest frequency being? Doesn't matter. Oh, this hurts. I hate this. I can't believe this. What, those can still exist. How can I still be my highest frequency being? How? Focusing on that frequency first and foremost will always bring you the answer. I promise you, it's literally like dominoes. Like it's like that is literally what happens. Put yourself at a high frequency, instantly the solution will become present and even a part of you. It's just natural. It's not even something you have to really shift or change to do. So first and foremost, knowing. And again, the reason why I say knowing, I'm going to explain in just a second, like how to actually do that and how to know, but always coming back to, I just have to know. I just have to trust. I just have to have this knowledge. Knowing as in knowledge. I have to just know it. I trust it. I trust it. Again, that is the liberation. Always when you question, you just bring yourself back. What do I know? Divinity. Divinity is what I know. God is what I know. Because in that too, really what you're doing is you're retrieving and reclaiming aspects of your soul self. Because these fragmented aspects of question or this or that, or but in the past or trauma or this or that, those are fragmented aspects of yourself. Those are wounded versions. That's not you. That's not your actual soul self. Those are protections. Those are survival mode compilations. That is the pain body speaking. That's not your soul self. So really bringing it back and not needing to explain or have a reason to believe it and this and that. Again, that is the wounded self. It's bringing it back to, I don't give a fuck. I know. I just know. I just know. It's literally like any of these questions, you are then reclaiming and retrieving aspects of yourself, aspects of your energy that are then going to fuel and amplify your knowing. Again, that's when the energy comes through where you're like, oh, this version that was once questioning, once I claimed it, it knows exactly what to do. Oh, once I just stopped questioning, once I just decided I knew, I'm not even kidding. When I was younger, I used to just say, because I remember the Thomas, I think I've shared the I think I can. The Thomas the Little Train was like so profound for me. That was like a spiritual awakening for me as a child, where I was like, oh my God, if you just think something, you literally can do it. To where I then, from then on, just decided like, if ever anyone was like, oh, I need to fix this, whether it's a TV or a sink or a toy or a this or that, literally needed to fix anything, like things that you have to hire plumbers for. I literally was like, if I just tell myself I can do it, I end up doing it. And literally, I was like, well, if I tell myself I can, then I can. And I would just fix these things that I should not have known how to fix. But it was just the frequency. Again, it's claiming that energy. Okay, I love it. Delusion or seeing through the delusion. Exactly. Where it's like that, the frequency, even in that, it's like, okay, it literally happened once with the TV. The cable guy couldn't fix it. I was able to fix it. One time with the sink, my friend's dad couldn't fix it, and I was just in that energy, and I was like, I can fix it. And they're like, oh, you want to try? And literally I fixed it, and he was getting the wrong screw. Like, but how did I know to do the screw underneath? It was just two different screws, and he kept doing the one on top. It was just a tiny little thing different. That energy and frequency again literally became available to me and came through just because I was like, I can do it. Because again, that reality exists on earth where that screw was fixed, where that cable TV, it was fixed. Because I just decided I can, that then became available to me. And that became the reality where it's like, I just go to do that screw. Even though I, again, was a child, was a child. That's what I mean by just knowing. Just knowing. People are like, well, how do I just know? Oh, you just know and then watch what happens. You'll be confirmed in it, and then you'll realize, oh, that's all I need. I just decide. I just make that decision. I just decide. And again, I'll go into like a little 3-part thing in just a second of how to like specifically do chords, but it's that knowing. So you reclaim those fragmented aspects of yourself, and this also restores your sovereignty on a deep level. Not only your your personal sovereignty, but your energetic sovereignty as well. When you are no longer deciding to be subject to these external thoughts and pathways that are delusional, essentially, as Malachi is correctly stating, literally delusional from past trauma, past pain body, past not ideal situations. If you live from these energies, that again completely gives your power away to them, to these things. So when you claim, when you know, when you decide that you just know, you then reclaim these aspects of yourself. That is how you invoke your sovereignty. And by invoke your sovereignty, the reason why I say this is so important, it's not just so you can be a strong, independent being. No, 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 no. What I mean by having sovereignty, it is this energy of when you are in those moments in between times, your sovereignty is intact. Even when your mind may be elsewhere, you're not really thinking, or you're in autopilot, or you're just in a habit, or you're just in your routine as you always are. When the inner sovereignty is intact, then you don't have the things where you're like, oh, I'll just eat this, or I'll just do this, or I'm not going to meditate, or I'm going to just do this, or I'm going to do this thing that's not really good for me, but I'm going to just do it. You stay in that energy. When your inner sovereignty is intact, and again, you've done work to claim these inner aspects of yourself. And when you have question, you say, no, I'm not questioning. I'm claiming this. I'm holding this. I'm anchoring this. When you hold this intact, then in those moments in between, even when your mind's not really there, you're like, I'm going to eat the thing that's good for me. Since I don't really care what I eat right now anyways, I'm going to eat the thing that's good for me. And you feel better. La, 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 la. Like, I guess I'll just meditate for 5 minutes. Might as well. My mind's just, you meditate, you feel even better. I could just like lay here, but whatever. I'll go on like a 10-minute walk, I guess. This inner sovereignty kicks in these moments where you then stay sovereign as a being in this high frequency of self, because that is your natural state. That is the state that your body, your being wants to remain in always. So when you activate your sovereignty in these other times, in these other moments, intentionally, again, questions come, you decide, I claim, I know who I am. I'm trusting my inner being, and I'm sticking with this. Then it trickles out into other moments, those moments in between that are vital, because those moments in between then make up the whole of who you are. And someone's talking to you negatively and this and that, you're like, well, whatever, I'll just do what they say, I guess. It's that version of you that's like, it's actually not okay for them to talk to me like that. I don't need to cause a fight. I don't need to cause a huge jump. I'm just going to let them know this conversation's over because I'm actually not okay being talked to like that. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day. And, or someone, whatever the situation is, I could go on to multiple different situations, but essentially it's not just being an independent being and being able to function on your own. It's a sovereignty of consciousness. It's a sovereignty of action. It's a sovereignty of respect for yourself and thus for others as well. That person, it doesn't feel good for them to talk to anyone like that. So you saying, I'm actually not okay with anyone talking to me like this, the conversation's over, you're helping them. I promise you, it doesn't feel good to them to talk to say it, to come out of their body like that, let alone to be in that frequency. So it's just holding this sovereignty. And it could even be casual things too. I'm like, okay, I could give a million examples, just one more. It could also be a casual thing where you're at Thanksgiving. This didn't happen, but you're at Thanksgiving and they're serving something that you do not want to eat. There's no way you want to put that in your body. Something you just like, I just don't trust it, whatever it is. But the person is like just gushing over how they're so excited about it. They love it and everything. It's the energy of, rather than being like, okay, I'll have, it's literally the energy of being like, it looks amazing and I know you are a great cook, or like saying something that is true, something with love, and being like, and I just can't at this moment. I appreciate you. I just can't at this moment. And again, holding a high frequency, because that also is good for people as well. Like, it may pop them a little bit from their ego delusion that everyone does what they want them to do. But again, this didn't happen. But I feel like I'm channeling for someone. It's holding that sovereignty. Holding that sovereignty. Especially if you knew that it would not make you feel good. Like whatever the thing is. Doing something or drinking something. Everyone's drinking. You're like, I thank you so much, but it's not for me. Yeah, looks great. Have fun. Love it for you. Love it for you. Bless. It's having that sovereignty. Because again, then you are rewarded. Then you are rewarded in that moment and beyond, far beyond. Ooh, and yes, so when you have this sovereignty activated as well, that is the energy where you no longer feel incomplete. You no longer feel incomplete after breakups, after situations, after something ends or completes. When you have this sovereignty and you've trusted your knowing and you hold this, you no longer feel incomplete. There's this wholeness that always eternally remains within you, no matter what. No matter what you lose, go through, strips away, changes, whatever you choose to not have, you feel whole, you feel complete. Okay. So I got two different questions in the academy that I wanted to answer. Both of them were the same question on like specifically how, which I've shared a little bit. I've shared like the actual foundation of how to cut cords. If for some people that are like, I've been trying to cut cords with this person and it's not working, it may be that you need to rewrite the cords, that they're not supposed to be completely severed in a way. Perhaps there's still a lesson. And again, not that you need to communicate with them or connect with them anymore, but there's still a message, still a lesson, still some frequency that is required within the connection. And that is why they're still existing. It may not be that it's supposed to be completely severed and completely cut. So speaking to that energy, and if you feel like, okay, well, it's still hard to like rewrite these chords, how to do it, or if you want to cut the chords specifically, if you want to do either of those, first off, the first thing is really actually listening to the chord cutting meditations, because when you combine intention, which is you're listening to the meditation, with reception, you're listening to the frequency, combined with actual frequency, which is the meditation itself, combined with energy as you are present with yourself in that moment, that is the formula for manifestation. That alone, even if you don't do anything, that begins to shift it. But listening to those consistently will remind your subconscious of your sovereignty. If you feel like you need that little boost, if you feel like you need a little bit of help in remembering the knowing, the meditations do that. So listening to them and connecting to them. The next thing really control your thoughts. Control your thoughts. It's knowing every time you think of a situation or a dynamic or a person, you are giving energy to it. So it's literally being so strict within your own mind that you do kind of have like this conscious little like whip, like nope, whip out. When a thought of the situation or the person or whatever it is that you're wanting to shift comes through, it's no, no, next. I'm happy. What am I focusing on? And you can have an anchor point. Maybe there's a project or there's something or a location or a vacation or something that you're excited about. And if not, create something that you're excited about. Yep, that's right. Give yourself something you're excited about. Yep, that's right. Whether it's a trip or an outing or something you're going to do or something you're going to create. Yep, yep. And see it. Give yourself some type of anchor where you always are shifting back to the frequency. You're like, oh, that comes in. I'm channeling my energy accordingly. And it can just stop there where you're like, channeling my energy accordingly. Oh, no, channeling my energy accordingly. It could just stop there, and it can add channeling my energy accordingly. I am so excited for this project. I'm going to be creating this. You know what? What can I even do for this? Okay, I can do this right now. Or, okay, I can't really do anything for it right now, but I'm excited for it. So, next, let's think about that. Where does that bring me? And bringing yourself again back, not even allowing it in the field. No more energy. Nope. Nope. No, no. No more energy to it. No. Keep your energy for yourself towards the things you want to create. Channel accordingly. Channel accordingly. Yep. Remaining in this frequency and being consistent. Literally, that's it. It's controlling your thoughts, being consistent, channeling your energy accordingly, and listening to the meditations consistently too. With this, you can shift, rewrite any dynamic, clear. You can cut cords with this dynamic as well. But you need to reclaim your authority, your frequency first. First. And I promise you, that is literally the formula for magnetism, just FYI. When you are when you are not giving energy to outside things anymore, and you're even like the universe is listening, God is listening, all consciousness is listening. No, I'm not giving any energy away. Back to myself. Back to myself. Energy focused on myself. I want to heal this part of myself. Channel energy, channel energy, channel energy. Or I want to create this. Channel energy, channel energy, channel energy. When you do that, that is the formula for magnetism. I promise you, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even need to explain what will happen from that moment. The people that will come into your field, the opportunities that will be magnetized to you, the miracles that will be magnetized to you, the confirmation, the angel signs. Like, just do it and you'll see. Just do it and you'll see. I'm like, I don't even need to tell you. Like, you know the frequency. You've been there. That is the formula frequency, the formula frequency for magnetism. That is it. So call it back to yourself. Activate that magnetism, and it will remain. And so it is.